Alright, as you can see, the pan is smoking a little bit. And you're going to hear that sizzle as soon as you hit. This is that sausage we made in this other video. This is that breakfast sausage. All you're going to need is that breakfast sausage. And you're going to break it up, cut it, spread it out a little bit. This is a pound. This is going to be plenty enough for 3 or 4 people. And you're just going to brown this. Let it sizzle for a little bit. We're just waiting for meat to cook. You don't have to be very active with this at all. You can cook it kind of like a hamburger. It gets a little bit of color on the one side. Turn it over. I'm going to crank up the heat a little bit so this goes a little bit faster. We're running out of space on the camera. Oops. So you really want to break this up. Cut through it. It already smells delicious in here. Just from those herbs that we mixed into that pork. So good. So while we make this, I'd like to know, what's your favorite biscuits and gravy? My personal favorite is Bob Evans. But what are the other places? Like I'll even say that Subway has decent biscuits and gravy.
Truck stops.
Truck stops? Which truck stop?
East Plaza 30, Highway 30, between Wanaka and Hannah. But it's not there anymore.
So let us know in the comments below, what are your favorite biscuits and gravy? As you can see, I turned up the heat a little bit. It's starting to get cooked pretty quick. You want a little bit of a high heat. I have this set on 320 degrees. This thing is cool. You can set the degree you want your pan at. I like that. I know that it's set at 320 degrees. I'm a gas stove cooker, but I'm coming around to this induction cooker. It's pretty cool. You get a lot more control over the way you're cooking, the temperature you're at. It's nice. You can get this thing on Amazon. It was $160, I think. That's not that much. And I'd say it's well worth it. Just check this out. See how this is cooking? It is cool to the touch. All the way around here. I know I just covered up do not touch, didn't I? But look, that thing is cooking. But you can put your hand here because it only transfers the heat to the pan. I think that's pretty cool. Once you turn it off, it's only the heat in the pan that's there. It's not a hot cooking surface. It's not going to overcook things. I like it. I like it. So here you go. We're almost done. See how this is cooking? It's getting nice and brown. Everything's firming up. Nothing's you know, gross and pink, a little bit. But you just keep stirring that around, chopping it up finer and finer. And this takes almost no time at all. There will be no cuts in this video because it's just so easy and fast. Take those big chunks, chop them up a little bit more. You're more than welcome to leave those big chunks if you want, but I like mine cut up small. So that's looking pretty good right there. And now what you want to see is if you move everything to the side, there's that induction cooker. But I hope you can see that fat right there? You're gonna need that real quick. Because that fat is what's gonna cling to the flour that we're about to put in. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of flour. This isn't exact science, but pretty close to flattened out. 1 and 2. And if it, you know, is a little bit heaping, it's not really going to matter. Now we're going to stir that up in there. And now I can say that it smells like flour. We're going to just keep moving this around. See how the fat is kind of going away? You want to mix that actual liquid fat up in there to get all over that flour. Now you're really going to want to keep this thing moving. Scrape things off the bottom. Just keep it moving. And get that liquid fat in there. Move it around. Once this starts to smell again like sausage instead of flour, all you have to do is throw the milk in. Keep scraping that bottom. That's going to come up there. It's going to give you a nice tasty bit. And it only took, what, about a minute? I don't know. But now I'm going to take a cup of milk and dump it in there. This is going to deglaze the bottom of the pan. It's going to take all that stuff that we couldn't scrape up doing that, and it's going to release all of that flavor into this gravy. Now, just keep stirring. I'm using a cast iron pan, so you can really get in there. I recommend a cast iron pan, not non-stick for this, because you can't take metal and scrape the bottom of a non-stick pan. But you also don't get that nice bond, which is that tasty stuff at the bottom, on a non-stick pan. So then you just keep at it, scraping all the good stuff. You'll feel it really get smooth at the bottom. See, look at that. See how smooth that is? There's nothing stuck anymore. You move this around until nothing is sticking. Nothing at all. We're going to reduce the heat a little bit. Down to, on this, it's 212. Down to the boiling point. That's it. We're going to keep it moving a little bit until everything is smooth on the bottom. We're going to put everything flat. And we're going to let that simmer for a little while and let that flour really thicken this up. You can see a little bit of the fat around there. You don't even understand how good this smells. It is so good. Alright guys, I ran out of memory card. That does happen. Sorry about that, but I simmered the gravy for about another 20 seconds to let it thicken up the way I want it. And then it was done. I turned the heat off and I was ready for biscuits. So it depends on if you like thin gravy or thick gravy. I said before I like thick gravy, so it took about 20 more seconds. It doesn't take much for it to thicken up. You really have to watch it as you stir it, because you'll see it thicken up, and as it cools, it's going to thicken up even more. So if you like thin gravy, when it seems like it's kind of thickening up, you're going to want to quit because it's going to thicken up a lot. When you like real thick, almost gelatin-like gravy like I do, then when it really gets thick, it'll end up like Jell-O later, and that's what I like. I was probably past a lot of people's points on the thickness. So I think I got the whole point across of the gravy. And all you need is that sausage recipe to make it taste so good, because gravy, all it is putting a little bit of fat if you need it, which we didn't in this recipe, and flour. Making sure the flour is cooked off and alright guys, here we are with a couple of bowls of biscuits and gravy. Our biscuits are delicious. We have been sampling as we go.
Like I said, just because they didn't look so pretty doesn't mean they weren't good.
And my gravy on top with that sausage that was so easy. Here we go, the taste test. Cheers.
Cheers.
Guys, this is so good.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta try this. It's not hard to do this stuff, and it's so much better than going out. This is, man, this is so good. You just cook at home, guys. It's so good. Oh yeah.